All right, hello again, YouTubers. This is Ethan Ball. It is November 22nd, 2015, and I got a whole bunch of games here for you that I picked up from PRGE about a month ago. And so let's get started right on it. Okay, so on my first day at PRGE, I went to a lot of booths, and I started to price out some games, and I found a couple of games that I've been looking for a while. First up, I got these both at the same booth. I found Dinosaurs for Hire, which is a weird run and gun game with dinosaurs based off of a Malibu comic book. Yeah, this is complete. We had this marked at 15, and I also found Vex for the GameCube, and I found the disc only because I already had the box and manual. I just needed the disc to complete it, and this was $3, but I was able to get them both for $15, so basically I got this for free. So basically I got Vex for whatever I paid for this, which is about $1. Okay, right in the front of the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, there was one of the booths had a $5 bargain bin idea. And basically what you do is you would pay $5 for a bag, and then you could just fill it up with everything that was in this bargain bin. And what was in there was mostly a bunch of junk. A lot of it was not working properly or something, or it was just games that they had had for a long time they just couldn't get rid of. But there was a lot of things in there that, while I wouldn't pay $1 for, I didn't mind at all purchasing for $5 a whole bag full of it. So let's start off let's just go through this real quick. I did find one Game Boy Color game in there. It was SpongeBob SquarePants Legend of the Lost Spatula. And that's it for Nintendo games. Next, I found at the bottom of this bargain bin a whole lot of TI-99 software. Things like beginning grammar, early reading, all these little activity type cartridges. I found 9 of them in total. So these aren't very exciting, but I could definitely use them in my TI-99 collection because that's my first gaming system. I also found a random Atari cartridge, Home Run. It's got that squiggle on it, but whatever. And a bunch of odd items like this PSP screen protector and PSP AC adapter and things like that. I got a few other things. There are a lot of controllers, so I thought I'd grab a controller. And I got a whole lot of PS2 games. A lot of throwaway games that I normally wouldn't buy for $1 or $2, how I usually see them, but I've been wanting some of these for a while, so let's start naming them off. First up, Guitar Hero. Yes, they'd have to have Guitar Hero in there. Guitar Hero 2. I guess you should know what the next one is. Guitar Hero 3, yes. Now, no Guitar Hero 4s. After that, I got a few other games like Drag Racing 2. MLB Slugfest 2003, and by the way, I really love the MLB Slugfest games, and I'm hoping to get more of those because they're very funny, and the commentary they play during these games are just hilarious. And MX World Tour, MX Rider, and Stunt GP. I know nothing about this game, but it looks somewhat interesting. And that's it. That was a lot of stuff for just $5. In fact, I filled up my bag so much that it exploded onto the floor, and I had to stop. Oh, actually, there's a couple more things I grabbed. I also grabbed this Onimusha 2 guide and a guide for Zork Nemesis. And there are a few other items that I'm missing here that I also got that aren't quite as exciting. But anyways, that's it for that bin. Okay, and to round out the first day of shopping at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, I found a couple more Genesis games. These ones were just cart only, but they looked interesting, and so I thought I'd grab them. First up is Alien Storm, which is kind of a beat 'em up type game with aliens. Looks like a lot of fun. And I found another game which I'd never heard of before I found it there, and it's called Wardner. And yeah, it's just one of those really, really, really uncommon, obscure Genesis titles that came out of Japan. It's actually a platformer that was an arcade game, and it was made by Toplin, of all people, the people who made a bunch of shooters like Truxton. But yeah, they made this platformer, and it's a pretty fair game. Not a great game, but it's a okay arcade port. And really unusual, so I'm glad to get it. I got both of these for about $20. They were marked at 11 and 15, so that's a really good deal. And that's how I ended my first day. Okay, I found another booth, a smaller booth, that was clearing out some items on the second day that I was there, and I got a really good deal on a group of 7 items that I'll show you. So, first I got 4 Game Gear games. I got VR Troopers. It's a not very exciting 2-player fighting game, but it's okay. Woody Pop. Don't know too much about this, but I know it's a port of a Sega Master System game. The 5-in-1 Fun Pack, and Road Rash for the Game Gear, which I've seen footage of, and this is actually an extremely good representation of Road Rash on the Game Gear. It looks just like the downported Sega Genesis game. It's very, very impressive for the Game Gear. And I also got one Super Nintendo game. Not very exciting, though. It's Pink Goes to Hollywood. So not a great game, but pretty cheap. And I got one GameCube game out of this deal. PK Out of the Shadows, which is missing the manual, but that's okay. It's a pretty cheap game, and it should be a lot of fun. It's a very cartoony looking game. And the last one, which is a real steal, is Animaniacs for the Genesis. And this is a criminally overlooked platformer. Very, very good game, actually. Probably a lot better than the Super Nintendo version. But it's just a really fun title, and it's complete and everything. It's great. And I got all 7 of these games in a lot for $10, which is just a steal of a deal for games like this. Okay, and to finish off my the last day of shopping there, I stayed to the bitter end of the second day, and I found a few deals right at the end of the day. So let's start up first one off with some GameCube games. The first one is BMX XXX. And yes, I do have the PlayStation 2 version of this game, but the GameCube version, which is significantly uncensored, by the way, compared to the PS2 version, is a lot harder to find than the PS2 version. It's a real pain to find this game out in the wild, and I was glad to get it. It was marked at $9, but I got it for $5. So that's a fair deal. And I also found a game that I've been looking for quite a while. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone for the GameCube. Very, very oddly, this game is a pain to find as well. I don't know why, but it's just a real chore to find this one. And it usually goes for about $20 to $25 on eBay. So getting it for $15, and I paid that price. That is perfectly acceptable. No problem at all. And the last game I got of the evening, I just found this real quickly. This was Beauty and the Beast, Roar of the Beast from Sunsoft for the Genesis, and I paid $2 for it. And you know, it's not a great game, but I wouldn't mind getting it for $2. It's kind of fun. Anyways, that's going to be it for this year's Portland Retro Gaming Expo. That was actually a pretty good expo, and I had a great time watching the panels, and it was just a great time at the expo. So I'm going to be going there again next year. All right, so that's what I picked up at Portland Retro Gaming Expo this year. Stay tuned. Next time I will be bringing another episode really quickly, because I have a whole lot of games I picked up in the last month, and I'm going to get started on that one right away. Thanks for watching.